In this video, I'm going to show you how to adjust your bandsaw fence to compensate for blade drift. Blade drift happens when we press against the blade, which is so thin on a bandsaw that it will actually twist a varying amount depending on the blade, and we need to match our fence to whatever that angle is. Two of the exact same blades can have a different drift angle, so I do this every time I change my blade. It sounds complicated, but it's really easy, and I'm going to show you how I do it right now. The first thing I do is I take a piece of wood that's the same thing that I'm going to be cutting. In this case, we're talking about making plugs, so I'm going to use my 1.5-inch baluster of Alaskan yellow cedar. The first thing I need to do is I need to draw a parallel line on this piece of wood because I need to cut along that line freehand. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a straight edge and I'm going to lay it down on the table, and then I'm going to draw the line in with a pencil right here, like so. And now I know that this line is parallel to this edge. That's important because I'm going to use that to determine my fence angle. Once I have my line drawn, I'm going to want to cut that line freehand. I'm not going to use the fence at all, so I'm just going to remove the fence. And what I'm going to want to do here is I'm going to want to cut as straight as I possibly can along that pencil line that I've drawn into the blank. And then I want to find where I'm staying on that line nice and straight. Let's take a look at how I do it. I don't have to go very far, but the important thing is when I get the angle to the point where the blade is cutting straight and I'm not twisting the piece of wood, I want to stop the saw and I want to hold the wood and not move it. That's very important. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pencil and I'm just going to draw a line along the edge here in my table. This line that I just drew, that's the angle that the fence needs to be at to cut a straight line. Okay, here what I've done is I've highlighted that line with a marker so you could see it in the video. But that's the line that I want to get my fence to, so I'm going to slide my fence over now. And I'm going to loosen the two bolts on my fence. And you can see that I have plenty of latitude for the fence here. So I'm going to slide it over to the line, and I just want to be parallel with that line. I lock the fence down. Sometimes I'll bump the edge out because as I go to tighten it, it moves it over to the right. So being careful to keep the fence on the line, I tighten the bolts up. Like so. And now my fence is adjusted to be parallel with the drift angle of the blade. Now it doesn't matter where I slide the fence. I know that it'll be parallel with where I need to be. It was pretty simple.